Okay, this is my haul from yesterday. Let's get into it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maggie, and this channel is called My Scattered Brain Vintage Shop, where I talk about my experience being a vintage vendor in a couple vendor malls around here. And part of that experience is sourcing. We all know that's the fun part. So I wanted to go over a haul of items that I picked up yesterday and had a lot of fun. We went to a new area. The area around me has a lot of different thrift stores. We have, within a 30-mile radius, we have 2 Goodwills, 2 Salvation Armies. We have 2 Christian ministry shops, and they all are good in their own way. But I was getting a little tired going to those, and also because my latest vendor booth is right in the immediate area, I thought, let me go out of the area, do a little day trip, and see if we can find some things that are a little bit different. So we went to Eastern North Carolina, and I think we went to 3 places that we bought, and 1 place that was an antique mall and was a little more upscale that I'm used to, but those places are fun to go to just to see, the possibilities, check your own pricing, see what people have that's in, and, get a little inspiration too. So this is the week, right now it's the week before our Christmas open house at our new vendor mall. The vendor mall opened up mid-September and has been doing pretty well, and we had 1 booth, and then on the second month, at the end of the first month, we opened a second booth there. So we need inventory, and also I don't have any heavy Christmas items, for decorating and for sale, so I kind of had that on my mind when we were shopping. So we traveled about 40 miles to the first stop, and the first stop was a Restore Habitat for Humanity, and we were not disappointed. So I'm gonna just kind of go through what I have. I tried to film, but guys, I'm not good at filming. You see my feet, and I'm swinging around. And maybe I'll try and grow into that, but not this time. Anyway, so the first thing I saw when I walked in there wasn't the first thing, but it was the first thing that really caught my eye, was this tree. And I used to be a florist, and when I came into the floral industry in the early 80s, there was still a lot of old school, like candied fruit wreaths and plastic holly, and it was a wonderful time in with decor. Everything was kind of it was kind of like revived year after year in tradition. We'd have the same people come in with things that they had taken off their wreath last year, and they put it in a bag, and they bring it back, and they say, make me a new wreath, do whatever you want. So like this brings me back to that time. I have no idea if this is in or not, but I do know that if you see it and you like it, you should grab it. So I didn't grab it. I saw it and I liked it, and it was $8. And I said, you know what? It's the first thing you're seeing, and it's $8. Let's let it sit. Let's do a scan around the store. But I ended up getting it anyway, because it kept calling to me. So, if something calls to you, there's a reason, and hopefully it'll call to somebody else. Okay, so then there were no sales going on. I don't know that they have sales, but they were pretty lively and active, and almost everything was priced, and I just went along scooping things up. So were very nice and packed a huge box for me with tissue paper. And they gave me bags. And I don't know where you are, but we're running into where people don't even, Salvation Army won't even give you bags. They'll ring you up and all your items are loose on the counter. And if you don't have a bag or a box in the car, you're carrying it out in your arms. And I think that's really kind of obnoxious, especially since they're asking you to round up all the time. And, you know, we're not in one of those states where they've banned bags, but I guess technically they've banned bags. So I guess I'm not going to go in order. I'm just going to go and show you different things that we found. We do like to go vintage, but we do have hits of a little of everything in our booth, and we like everybody to have a chance to find something that they like. And you know, that doesn't always happen with kids and with maybe people who are into a little more modern stuff, and maybe they're with somebody who is shopping the vintage. So this is an example of that. It's a Mickey mug. All the mugs I think were like, I'm going to say they were 99 cents or less marked. So this is a $2 mug. It doesn't have anywhere. For somebody who's Christmas shopping, that would probably be perfect. And mugs in my booth, I generally do them anywhere from 4 to 10. So that was $2. I'll probably do it at 10 just because it's a Mickey. There was another Mickey mug. Let me see if I can find it while we're on the subject. This is probably it. And that one was $2. So that'll just be, you know, something that's a little out of the ordinary, but like not, it'll give somebody the opportunity to buy something. Maybe a kid for their mother or something like that. This is a little bit pricey. And a little bit more modern. It's a Raydon canister with a seal. Now I have quite a few things in my booth that are Dragonfly, so I thought this would tie in nicely. This was $7. I have to research it. I don't really have a formula of what I mark things up. They say like 3 times or 4 times if you can, but you can't always do that with everything. Sometimes it's just something to bring somebody in. So also along the lines of Dragonfly was this Lazy Susan, and it's got dragonflies around it. It's wooden. Whenever it was sold in Marshall's, it was $24.99, and it was $6. I am going to have my husband give it a light sand so that we can even out the wood. But it works. And I'm hoping somebody will like it. And I have the cake domes, so I could put a cake dome on it and maybe put a little Christmassy thing on inside. All right. I picked up these for Holly Holderman Lake House. Salt and pepper shakers with a spice decoration. I'm feeling like this is 90s, 80s or 90s. So this is on the cusp of that cottagecore, grannycore, I think. They have their stoppers. Now, I will say that everything there is pretty clean too. So, I mean, it's going to make processing very nice. You know, sometimes you just bring home a load of dishes and a whole other chore to do. I'm doing this in the house right now, but I don't like bringing everything in the house because then I'm living in it. But right now, you know, I was working in my barn, and it's cold out there right now. So the barn is not insulated. It doesn't have a door on it. So that's great in the summertime. Sit out there with a nice cold drink and process everything. But now we're inside. Okay. So I did pick up another mug. It has a old school Santa scene. This says, to wish you a happy Christmas. $1. It's Christmassy. I can put a little like sprig of Christmas greens in it, some holly, something like that. I do have another one of those mugs. I'll show it to you when I find it. I'll show you this. This is 80s peach, I think. It's a USA pottery. This was $2. So like when I look at something like that, and I'm like, $2, okay. Could I get 6 or 8? Yes. And maybe I'll get a couple of those small like fake succulents and make it 10. But here it is, same USA pottery. I don't know if you can see that. USA. I don't know why this is $3. So let's see. We got one more. Let's see what that one is. But anyway, 3 of those. This might be it. Yep. And this one was 2. Okay, another mug that looked old-fashioned to me. Now, this has the possibility of like getting lost in the shuffle, but if I set it up, and my one booth has like shelves facing out into the aisles on 2 sides, so I can have that and it might catch somebody's eye. And that was $1. These are German made creamer and sugar. I'm really trying not to pick up a sugar without a creamer or a creamer without a sugar. Sometimes I just like them, so it just depends. So that's pretty, and it just say Germany right here. This was $8 for the set. Now this, I don't know what it is. I'll look it up afterwards, but I don't know why this makes me think of, is it Fire and Ice? Is it, I don't know what it is, but I could see, this is $3, and there's a signature on it. See where there's letters? Oh, maybe you guys can see it. I'm going to look it up, and I'll put it on, but I think this might be a sleeper. Okay, now this I haven't untaped yet, but you might be able to tell. This is a false scratch. Give me a minute. So it's one of those multi-piece. Maybe this fold doesn't go with. Oh yeah, it does. I think it's a false graph. Multi-piece. I don't know, chip and dip, is that what you call it? So I had to ask my husband, like, is 3 of those going to make a circle, or do I need a 4th? Because sometimes they're done with 4s, but this is a 3. Maybe I'll set it up and I'll take a picture of it and show you how it gets set up. Again, I have to research that, but when it's a complete set and it's the time where people are entertaining, to me that's when the possibility of selling is higher. And these are all still on that same stop. Got that. $5. It's a Pier 1. I do have one lit booth, so I could put this in the lighted case. I also have that area in the hallway that catches the light on two sides. Oh, I like this. Oh, this is the lid to the, okay. Another thing I've really learned to look for is if it looks like something was supposed to have a lid. Like, you know, sometimes you'll have a picture or a vase, and then you look and there's a lip, and you're like, oh, it's actually missing something. Okay, so now this goes into Christmas decor. This is just a little box. It's $1. If I get $3 for it, I'm happy. You know, just for the ambiance, actually. These. Well, I'm pretty sure these are older. I like this one. Kind of courier knives. Again, more for decor. Alright, look at this. I've got more than a dozen of these. I'm going to hang some in garlands around, and I'll maybe bag some up, 3 for $1, or I don't know, 3 for $5. I don't even know. Whatever strikes me at the time. I've been doing pretty well with stockings. That's a knit one, cable knit. Now this I grabbed. And it wasn't priced. So I think she said $3. It's in glacial ice age sculptures crafted by hand for ACE Alaska. And then I guess it says the same thing on that sticker. It's a family with their dog, their sled, and their igloo. Really cool. It actually feels like clay. Doesn't feel like resin. My husband grabbed this. It was calling to him. It is a Franklin porcelain 1976 Christmas plate. Limited edition called Silent Night. I'll have to research it. It's pretty. You know, we don't do a lot with collector's plates, but I picked up one that had a cute cat on it. It was a whole cat series. And I figured somebody might like that. I don't do like Norman Rockwell and various other ones. But, you know, that's for the holiday. It's that nice bisque and gold. So somebody might like that as a scenery thing. Now this. I picked this up. It has a name in it. I don't remember the name. So what I do is I took a picture of it and I Google searched it. And people were selling these for $50. It's got nice handles. I guess those are olives. This is probably, I don't know what the hole is for. I think it's to hang it. It's probably for an olive charcuterie type tray, or a dipping oil and bread and olives. I don't even know what it's from. I saw somebody labeled it vintage, but you know, everybody labels everything vintage now. What impressed me with this place was they had beautiful lamps and hanging light fixtures. But I've really been looking for places that have lampshades. I have several lamps that have bad lampshades, ugly lampshades, no lampshades, and lampshades are like $20 in Walmart and online. And so I have those for a pair of lamps that have been waiting for it. And I picked this up, and this is a candle ring, but I might make it a little mini wreath. And this was, I don't know how much this was. Couldn't have been more than $3. All right, and then the final thing that I had at this store. I picked up this basket. Oh, I have this too. Because I'm a sucker for a wooden bird. This is $7. I don't really know that I'll get a whole lot for it, but I like it. And that would be something that, honestly, I'd probably keep if I didn't feel it was appropriate for the booth. I like my wooden birds, and I do well with them, actually. Okay, so I picked up this basket. I snatched up this basket, and it had an arrangement in it that was ugly as hell. It was atrocious. And it had old gray Spanish moss in the bottom of it, and it was just really like weedy looking and old and dusty. So I said to the cashier, could you do me a favor, and can I leave that part of it here? And as I'm saying that, I look in it, and there's like an old Salem Light cigarette in there, or Virginia Slims, or one of the white ones. And she's like, all right. So then she starts pulling it out, and it's literally like it was used as an ashtray, I guess. I mean, there's no place that you would put a cigarette out on this, but somebody had emptied out their ashtray. I don't even know. And then she was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to sell this to you. And I'm like, you are going to sell that to me. Anyway, it was $7. It's a little pricey, but it's a unique basket. I thought I could put like a few Christmas greens in there or weave a ribbon through. So we'll see what happens with that. And then when I was checking out with that, the woman said, there's 3 of those. And I'm like, oh, really? And she's like, yeah, let me go get them. So I guess there were 3 in a series in that. Okay, so this was like the kind of thing that was in this. It was like this. So this came out of one of the other 2. So the other 2 are this. Now this is dusty and crusty, but it's got that look. It's got a rusty handle, and it's a half basket, so you can hang it and really see the handle. And there's an old price tag on there. They're all lined. Well, this one's lined. And that one's lined. Yeah. So 3 of those. Look. A kangaroo with a little Joey. He's pretty cool. He's got a couple he's handmade. But he's unique. His shoe is falling down a little or whatever. I love him. I don't know what the red collars are on them. Little light up angel. And then this was in the free pile. For a little candle. So that is my entire haul for the Restore. Good morning. It's the next day. I'm going to finish up this haul so I can get a video out to you guys. So then after the Restore, the reason we went to this area was because there was like 8 or 10 different thrift stores in the area. So I figured it would be a good way to explore a whole bunch of different places in a shorter amount of time instead of spending 20 minutes between each place driving. So the next place we went to was the Salvation Army, and we were walking up to the building, and I'm like, oh, this is going to take no time at all, because it was a small building. And so we went in, and usually these places, the whole middle is closed, and then you just go around the outside. So that's what we did. The first was the book area, and I liked this cover. It caught my eye. Afraid of All Things. And then the back says, what does the gospel say about your fears? You know, we're in such an anxiety-ridden society right now that somebody might find value in this. But I like the color, and I like the picture and the title. And I do pretty well with books. I've sold a lot of like instructional, like golfing. I've sold some classics. I have like H.G. Wells, Isaac Asimov. I've sold some collections. So I do all right with books. So I like to just scatter them around. I don't really use them for staging too much, but just because I usually forget. And I have bookends that I'm selling, so it holds the books up. And then this was one that my husband picked up. It's the story of Ronald Reagan. So that was just something that he picked up for himself. Books, I don't know. They were 50 cents or $1, or I don't even know what they were, a quarter. They were not a lot. Then we went down, and there was a rack with stockings on them. So I got this stocking. This is a dark blue. I think it's a dark blue. It might be black. I can't tell in my light in the house. And one thing that I was trying not to do is get too much new stuff of this type of thing, because I feel like you can get this in Target, you can get it in Hobby Lobby, you can get it in Walmart, but it's blue, so I thought that's a little bit different. And then I got this stocking. I like it because it seems handmade. I don't think it is handmade. No, it's not handmade. It's Tibetak collection. Tiberak. I don't know. But it actually looks like a stocking, it's got the heel and everything, like somebody knitted it. It's really nice feeling, nice looking. And then I got this one, which is definitely very. Somebody made that, and I think I'm going to have to try and hand wash it a little bit to brighten it up. It's a little dingy. Stockings were 99 cents. And I'll probably, just put 8 or 10 on them, depending on which ones they are. Picked up this for $3. I could put a few greens in that. Some candles, get it all staged, and probably not have it in the box. This was just I saw the bell, that's why I grabbed it. And it has a star and a mitten. This was all in one Ziploc for 79 cents. I do ornaments from $3 to $6, depending on what they are. Picked this up. Apparently it was bright blue, which is a little bit weird. So somebody took the time to spray paint it. Not well. You could throw some twigs in that. Put some twinkle lights. This was $2. Okay, I was drawn to this. I think because it just looks old school, looks European. And it was made in Portugal. I did look this up. And it looks like, the price tag in here is $5. It looks like on eBay they're selling for like $16, $18, but they're selling that with a $20 shipping. So when I look up comps online, I'll look up what the piece is and what the actual piece is selling for. But then I will look at the shipping, because that's part of the total price that the customer is willing to pay. So if somebody's spending $18 on this and then you got $20 in shipping because it's heavy, That's $38 that somebody's going to pay to get this. And then I just would, like, in that case, I would probably make this like 28, 30, so that it just leaves the store. And you know, if that's a little high, then when I'm running a sale, it'll come down a little bit. But it's heavy. It's something that if I had concerns about my dishware and wanting it to look a certain way, that I would probably pick that. And this, because it's this green, you could put Christmas stuff in it. But if it's still around in March, you know, you could do some bunny rabbits or some chicks and eggs, and have it like on a lower table in the booth. I picked up these. These are little glass boxes. There's an angel, a cardinal, and another cardinal, and they're all stained glass. One of them has a QVC label in it. And these were $3 a piece. I think I could probably get $13 to $15 for that. It's a little box, but it's cute. Picked up this little pineapple copper brass wall art. Kind of goes along with the like the copper molds. $1. And then I picked up a bunch of cards. I got this idea. Somebody was talking about what they were going to do in their booth. Was they were going to put pictures of Santa in frames, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. So these are invitations. I like this one. So I'm going to play around and put some of them in some frames and set them around the booth. I'll put up a picture here. We were walking around and there was a blanket rack and it had no price. And the one woman was like doing the one woman show there where she's the cashier and she's doing stuff back in the back stock room. And so when I asked about it, they said, ask her. And she said, I don't know, $4. And I was like, yeah, it's definitely sold, you know. So I'll put a picture there or a little mini video in here next because it's across the room and it's got blankets on it right now. And then finally, this has 31 pegs. This is like a big rack. The price on this was $3, I think. And I was like, what kind of alternate universe am I in right now? I got a quilt rack for $4, and then I got this. This, if you don't know about these and you have a booth, always keep your eyes open for these. I've sold like 9 peg, maybe 6 peg, you know, like the small to medium size for $20, $25 each. This, when I look online, some of these larger ones go for $100 to $200. I am probably just going to price this at, I have it priced right now at $67. I figure somebody might buy that at that price. And then I don't have to worry about, I don't know. You know, this is what when you do comps on eBay and stuff, yeah, they sold for that, but then I have to think about what somebody's willing to drop just randomly going into a store and seeing that. It's one thing to go on eBay and they're looking for something and they want it and they pay a price. It's another thing to just have somebody, you know, randomly want that and then to be like $200 And I could be wrong. Um, and that's why I like to go around to different antique stores, because, you know, if somebody's got that in their booth, I can look and say, you know, what is somebody else asking for it? And I could either do the same thing, do something different. I could think they're crazy. Yeah, so that was Salvation Army. And, oh, let me grab the other thing. Okay, so after that Salvation Army, we went, again, I Googled. So, like, literally, once we got to the area we're at, I think we just stayed within 5 miles of each store. Within probably 3 miles of each store. So we went to a place, and it said antique vintage home, something like that. And we went in, and it was I'd say like a more upscale antique shop. And that was just fun to go and look and see what people are doing and get display ideas. And I don't really have anything from there to show you. And then the last place we went to was in a big old barn. And that was really enjoyable. It was a nice, relaxing store. They had good music on. I feel like the booths were easy to move around in. And I mostly just got from one vendor. It was a bag of berry picks. Again, thinking about decorating for Christmas. And then this one is, that was $1, and this was $1. So I think this I could probably break up, but I could also just stick a bow around it. That was nice. And they had a piano there that was really nice, and it had a thing saying how if you got the beeswax that they sell in the store, your wood finishings could look as good as the piano. So we picked up that. Now, I didn't know this, but this is saying that beeswax, you can use it on granite, stainless steel, glass. Looks like they have it on, like, I'm going to say that's leather upholstery and wood. And I would have thought beeswax was only for wood. It says wrought iron, porcelain, copper. And it's just spray on, kitchen cabinets, painted surfaces, spray on, wipe off. So we bought a can to try. When I sprayed it, I thought it smelled like pledge, but made in the USA in Tennessee. So that was there. And then, yeah, so that was our trip. Then we went and we found a nice little place to eat. And that's kind of part of the enjoyment of doing these little trips too, is to just get out of the area and make it like a little bit of an event. So that's my haul. Then we did do some running around and some auctioning, and I got a few more things I'm not going to really worry about including in here. I did get this blanket, which I'm going to put over that blanket holder, and the blanket holder that I got, I'm going to put some stockings on too, so it'll tie everything in. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and maybe once I get the booth set up Christmassy, I'll take some shots there as well. Have a great day.